Every morning, millions of seniors reach for their familiar comfort foods like white bread slices or sugary cereals, convinced they are harmless and quick options to start the day. What they don't realize is that these seemingly innocent choices are quietly setting off a dangerous chain reaction inside their bodies. These foods cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels that can seem temporary but have long-lasting, deadly effects. Within minutes of eating such foods, blood glucose surges sharply, increasing inflammation inside the arteries. This inflammation is often silent, but it begins the process of damaging the arterial lining by creating microscopic tears in the delicate vessel walls. Over the course of days and weeks, these tiny tears become the breeding ground for fat and cholesterol deposits. Fatty substances from the bloodstream seep into the damaged areas, accumulating as fatty plaques within the arterial walls. This process is slow but relentless, with the plaques growing incrementally larger over time. Most seniors remain unaware of this damage because it produces no immediate symptoms. Yet every single white slice of bread or tablespoon of sugary cereal eaten daily contributes to the silent buildup of these plaques. An important measurable step to minimize this risk is to replace that morning carbohydrate-heavy meal with one that stabilizes blood sugar. For example, seniors should opt for a bowl of plain rolled oats, flavored with half a cup of fresh berries and a small handful of crushed walnuts. The oats should be cooked using no more than 200 milliliters of hot water at 40 degrees Celsius, heated to a gentle simmer for exactly 4 minutes to ensure optimal digestion and absorption. Keep the berries fresh and add them immediately after cooking to preserve their antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation. The walnuts add omega-3 fatty acids essential for vascular health. Drinking warm herbal tea or water at exactly 40 degrees Celsius alongside this meal enhances nutrient absorption and supports blood vessel repair. This simple daily shift in the breakfast routine helps prevent the initial inflammation, blocks the formation of dangerous plaques, and sets the stage for long-term cardiovascular health. As weeks turn into months, the fatty deposits within the arteries increase and become more fragile, turning into thin, delicate plaques that can rupture unexpectedly. These brittle plaques sit precariously within the narrowed arterial passageways. They are like tiny, unstable bubbles on the verge of bursting, often without any warning signs. Most seniors feel nothing until a critical event occurs. That is when the plaque ruptures, exposing its inner contents to the bloodstream and triggering the rapid formation of a blood clot. This clot can quickly grow, completely blocking the artery at the site of rupture. Because this process happens swiftly and silently, many don't realize the danger until they experience a sudden severe pain or suffer a stroke or heart attack. The fragile plaque's tendency to break apart without notice makes the threat even more alarming. It's akin to a ticking time bomb inside the arteries, with the potential to explode without any prior indication. The risk of rupture and clot formation is heightened if the senior's blood pressure is high, or if their blood cholesterol levels are above 200 milligrams per deciliter, which contributes to faster plaque development. Preventing this escalation involves daily dietary management, choosing foods that actively strengthen blood vessels and dissolve existing plaques. A crucial, measurable aspect of this preventive strategy involves consuming at least 50 grams of soluble fiber from oats, berries, and vegetables each day to trap excess cholesterol and aid in reducing plaque size over time. The most terrifying phase unfolds when a fragile, ruptured plaque unleashes a blood clot so massive that it completely occludes the artery, cutting off oxygen flow to vital organs. The clot forms silently within the inflamed, damaged artery, often within seconds after rupture, without any warning signals. When the clot fully blocks blood flow, the consequences are catastrophic. The affected organ, whether the heart or the brain, is starved of oxygen and nutrients, leading within minutes to tissue death. The victim suddenly loses consciousness or collapses, often before anyone nearby realizes what is happening. This rapid event is the leading cause of sudden death among seniors and can occur even in those who had previously felt healthy. The immense internal pressure within the blood vessels during a clot's formation exacerbate the danger, making it impossible for conventional medical intervention to dissolve or remove the blockage in time. The entire process is a silent killer lurking beneath everyday routines. Medical evidence shows that high blood cholesterol levels above 200 milligrams per deciliter and high systolic blood pressure exceeding 140 mmHg significantly increase the chances of plaque rupture and clot formation. Yet all of this can be triggered by the dietary choices seniors make each day, unknowingly pushing themselves closer to the brink of catastrophe. Without intervention, at this stage, death can occur in a heartbeat, making prevention with dietary adjustments more vital than ever before. Following a structured, low-inflammatory diet that includes at least 30 grams of soluble fiber daily from oats, peas, or apples, along with consistent physical activity such as 20-minute walks at a steady pace, can stabilize plaques and greatly reduce the risk of these silent, deadly mountain peaks within the arteries. But that was just the beginning. The moment that fragile, uneven plaque sits precariously within an artery, any sudden movement or even a burst of adrenaline can cause it to rupture unexpectedly. Imagine a day when a senior's simply bending over to pick up something from the floor or standing up too quickly after sitting for a long time. In that split second, the thin cap of the unstable plaque gives way, exposing its inner contents directly to the bloodstream. This rupture sends a powerful warning to the body that danger is imminent, triggering the rapid formation of a blood clot at the site within seconds. The clot is not a small, harmless plug, but a massive, aggressive mass that can quickly expand to fully block the artery wall. The entire process unfolds silently, with the clot growing imperceptibly, forming inside the inflamed and damaged vessel. Within just about 30 seconds to a minute, the clot can be large enough to seal off the crucial artery completely, disrupting blood flow to vital organs such as the heart or brain. This swift obstruction deprives these organs of oxygen and nutrients, leading to tissues dying in an alarmingly brief period. Victims often don't feel any initial warning signs. They might go from feeling perfectly healthy to collapsing or experiencing severe, unrelenting pain within moments. The internal pressure from the growing clot intensifies this threat, making it virtually impossible for medical intervention to dissolve or dislodge the blockage in time once the event begins. The visual of a blood vessel suddenly sealed shut by a dark, congealed clot with blood backing up behind it is both terrifying and visceral. High blood pressure and elevated cholesterol levels over 200 milligrams per deciliter dramatically increase the likelihood of plaque rupture and clot formation, but even normal levels can become dangerous when combined with other risk factors such as smoking or sedentary lifestyle. Without preventive care, such as a diet high in soluble fiber and omega-3 fatty acids, the chance of this silent killer striking unexpectedly is frighteningly high. This process demonstrates how the smallest vulnerability in a vessel wall can escalate into a catastrophic event in less than a minute. The moment the clot fully seals the artery, the blood supply to vital organs ceases entirely. As oxygen deprivation intensifies, tissues begin to die rapidly. The victim might slump unconscious in their chair, clutching their chest, or suddenly collapse, a tragic scene played out countless times silently on hospital beds or even at home. The internal damage inflicted by persistent clot formation and ongoing inflammation leaves no warning, only an irreversible decline that can culminate in catastrophic organ failure. Blood flow interruption from a clot can occur wherever the rupture happens, and depending on the location, it could mean a fatal heart attack if in the coronary artery or a devastating stroke if in the cerebral vessel. Elevated blood pressure or high cholesterol levels amplify this risk because they contribute to faster plaque growth and increased vessel fragility. Yet most of these deadly events stem from everyday eating habits, foods that appear healthy on the surface like oatmeal or berries, but can become dangerous if blood vessels are already compromised. Managing intake by consuming at least 30 grams of soluble fiber daily from oats, apples, or legumes, coupled with maintaining a stable blood pressure below 130/80 millimeters of mercury, can help stabilize plaques and prevent rupture. Regular physical activity of 20 minutes each day at a steady pace, such as brisk walking, further reinforces vessel strength. This combination of dietary and lifestyle adjustments, applied consistently, can significantly reduce the likelihood of the silent, rapid formation of fatal clots that normally strike without warning, saving countless seniors from the devastating aftermath of what can happen when a vulnerable plaque suddenly turns deadly. As the blood clot continues to grow silently within the inflamed and damaged artery, it reaches a critical size that unleashes a devastating cascade across the entire circulatory system. The initial rupture, which once posed only the threat of a heart attack or stroke, now triggers multiple simultaneous blockages as fragments of the unstable plaque break apart and travel through the bloodstream. These fragments lodge in various smaller arteries, causing blockage in organs such as the kidneys, liver, intestines, and even the extremities. Within moments, this cascade results in multiple organ shutdowns, turning a single clot rupture into a catastrophic chain reaction. Vital organs are starved of oxygen and nutrients, with tissues beginning to die rapidly, leading to instant organ failure that is nearly impossible to reverse once it has begun. The patient's skin might turn pallid or mottled, while consciousness fades as the brain becomes hypoxic. This widespread internal disaster transforms what seems like a sudden occurrence into an unstoppable biological catastrophe that leaves little hope for rescue once the cascade of multiple blockages takes hold. The ultimate danger is even more visceral and terrifying. Under excessive internal pressure caused by the growing clot and inflammation, the weakened arterial wall can suddenly give way altogether. This rupture is not a mere tear, but a violent, explosive breach in the vessel wall, spilling blood into surrounding tissues and bodily cavities. The blood escapes rapidly, filling spaces it should never occupy, causing internal bleeding that can be massive and uncontrollable. This event often results in an immediate collapse, severe shock, and death within seconds. The loud, visceral sight of blood gushing from a ruptured artery, the dark pooling of blood in the body cavity, and the frantic struggles of the victim underscore the chaos and tragedy of this final, fatal blow. The internal pressure within the vessel can reach lethal levels within a matter of seconds once the rupture occurs, emphasizing the critical importance of preventing buildup and instability of arterial plaques that have the potential to cause such catastrophic failure. Elevated blood pressure, high cholesterol, and sedentary lifestyles compound this risk, but most dangers originate from everyday dietary choices that subtly weaken blood vessels over time. The only credible defense against this relentless escalation of danger is a deliberate, simple, but powerful change in daily nutrition. Replacing the typical breakfast of processed cereals or white bread with a nourishing bowl of oatmeal, cooked with exactly 200 milliliters of water heated to 40 degrees Celsius for precisely 4 minutes ensures optimal digestion. Adding half a cup of fresh berries immediately after cooking preserves their antioxidant properties, which help reduce inflammation. A small handful of crushed walnuts of approximately 15 grams provides omega-3 fatty acids that fortify vessel walls. Drinking a glass of warm herbal tea or water at exactly 40 degrees Celsius alongside this meal further enhances nutrient absorption and supports blood vessel repair. This specific routine, a breakfast that involves heating oats at the correct temperature and timing, adding precise amounts of berries and nuts, acts as a steady shield, reducing arterial inflammation, stabilizing existing plaques, and preventing the formation of dangerous blood clots. Adopting this habit daily shrinks the risk of ruptures and cascade failures, effectively breaking the cycle of progression toward multiple organ failure and arterial rupture. Maintaining this low-inflammatory breakfast together with consistent daily activity, such as 20-minute brisk walks at a steady pace, greatly improves vascular resilience. The regular intake of at least 30 grams of soluble fiber from oats, apples, or legumes over the course of the day traps and dissolves excess cholesterol, ongoingly reducing plaque size and strength. Achieving optimal blood pressure below 130 over 80 millimeters of mercury and keeping blood cholesterol below 200 milligrams per deciliter through proper diet is fundamental. These measurable targets, paired with lifestyle modifications, reinforce the stability of arterial walls and significantly diminish the likelihood of the deadly chain of events that originate from unstable plaques. When such preventative measures become a daily routine, they effectively intercept the process long before ruptures and cascade blockages can occur. The simple act of choosing this specific nourishing breakfast can, in real terms, preserve life, prevent the rapid succession of catastrophic blockages, and save countless seniors from the tragic, irreversible consequences of arterial instability.